get the vibration. Won't do you no good. Won't do you no good.
Hey, what's up guys? How you all doing? Now, the Spectres of the Rail update hit Warframe while I was in Canada at TennoCon, and with it came the new star chart, new void system, new cravats, some new daggers, and I believe plenty of problems and errors and bugs, which I'm kind of glad that I missed that side of it because I was away. So now it's a little bit more stable. It still has some, I guess, issues with the game, and they are hotfixing it as fast as possible. So far from playing the game, I can say that I enjoy the new star chart. Cravats seem really cool, but feel a little bit powerful, so they might get tweaked down a little bit. I'm not saying they will, but they do feel a lot better, I guess, than Kubro's right now. Some players lost some of the void keys when they got changed over to Relics, but I was fortunate enough not to be one of those, and I believe that might be a bug that they are trying to fix, so to give everyone their keys back as well. The Fissures, or the new kind of void system, seems really cool for leveling, especially because of the sheer enemy density that you get while trying to close those fissures, and the RNG from the old void farming is now helped by refining your relics. Now, with the actual new void system with the relics and all of that, all of our void keys, like I said, have been changed to relics, and all of these new relics all have different item drop tables for each relic. There are 7 different relics for each grade of relic as well. Each of these relics can also be found in similar missions or locations as where you would have found your old void keys, and they seem to be very similar level as well, with kind of a grade 1, 2 and 3 for the relics, the same as we would have had Tower 1, 2, 3 and 4. Well, I myself am kind of referring to these relics as tier 1, 2, 3 and 4 for simplicity and not to kind of get myself confused, and I'm not actually using their real names because there are a lot of them, but it is a similar enemy level for each of these relics once you go into that mission, right down from, I guess, what you would have had with Tower 1 right the way up to Tower 4. Now, when you start a Fissure mission, by going to your actual console, for whichever level you're running, you will get asked which relic you want to equip out of the 7 types or out of the 4 different tiers, and your squad mates will also be asked as well once you go to try and start that mission. And like I said, each relic has its own drop table, from common drops to rare drops, and their drop chance is defined by the rarity, I guess, of that item. So basically, you pick the relic that drops the item that you want to farm and you equip it and run with it. When you start to close a fissure in the mission, enemies will break through the rift and try to stop you shutting it down. Some of these enemies will also drop a new item called Void Traces. These Void Traces can later be used to refine a relic, which in turn will increase your chance of getting rarer drops like a frame systems or some of the harder to obtain items. You can refine any of your relics into 3 different stages, spending 25, 50 and 100 void traces to increase your chance of getting rare items by, I think it's up to around a maximum of 50% for a radiant relic, which is the highest level of a refined relic. Now, a radiant relic will also decrease your chance of getting common loot. So on one hand, you're increasing your chance of getting rare and decreasing your chance of getting common, which means you have a much better chance of getting the item that you actually want to get your hands on, which kind of does away with the old RNG from the old void missions where you might have to stay in for 20, 40, 60 minutes to try and get your hands on that item, and RNG wasn't always favourable and might be a bit of a bitch. So to simplify it down, refining the relic is kind of like supercharging it and giving you a better chance at better loot. At the end of the mission, you can also choose to keep your rewards or to swap it for the same reward as a teammate. So if you don't get what you want and your teammate does, then you can simply switch to what they were rewarded and you will be given it as well. You can only also carry up to 100 void traces. I think that is the limit at the minute. So if you have 100 void traces, then you're better off using 50 of them or spending 100 of them to refine something and then farming more void traces, because you won't be able to gather any more. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. So simply keep refining those relics to make sure you're getting those void traces. Now, if you have a full squad all running with the same refined relics, then your chances of getting rare loot is greatly increased, because like I said, if the item doesn't drop for you, then it might drop for a squad mate instead. Also, you can get bonus void traces for teammates all picking the same reward, but I believe it's only one person in the squad that will get the bonus traces. I guess it's whoever you all decide to take the reward from. Overall, this new void system, when you first see it, looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually not. It is quite simple, and it does seem to cut out a lot of the old RNG and give us a better chance at getting better loot. But it also feels a lot more of a grind and kind of removes the need for us to stay in endless missions to get what we want, as once the fissure is closed, then you can leave your mission whenever that option pops up. So endgame for a lot of players might feel a little bit pointless. Those players who enjoyed running 2-hour endless missions or really long endless missions just for enemies to scale, there's no real need to do that now, especially not in the void. Relics are definitely a faster way to farm the prime parts that you want to get your hands on, but also feel a lot slower if you want to farm ducats, but I guess it is what it is. The void traces only stack, like I said, up to 100 and are also needed to build the corrupted dragon keys or the vault farming keys like the hobbled key and so on. I think it's only 10 for each key, so you do need to farm as many void traces as possible, and I think maybe that might be the kind of grindiness that's been brought into the game now, is farming those void traces. But if you've got a Nekros or if you've got a Hydroid that can increase the amount that you can get, or if you've got a resource booster, then you can get a lot of void traces very, very quickly. Now, I definitely really like the change to the void system because of the enemy density and the fun of trying to close those fissures and the amount of enemies that are bursting through those rifts. I'm not sure what you guys think of it. Let me know in the comments section below. I do hope that I've explained the new relic system in a simple enough manner, because it is a little bit complicated to try and explain. Basically, each of the relics come in 4 different tiers, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Each of those tiers have 7 different relics. Each of those relics have different loot tables for each of them, and you can refine each of those relics to basically give you a better chance at better loot. That kind of sounded better than what I said originally. Maybe I should have just went with that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of the new void system. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.